Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Online Sunday School. This week we have an exciting lesson, also from the book of Acts. We've been spending a lot of time in Acts this month, really since Easter. And today's lesson is also from Acts. Today's lesson is titled, "The Church Grows." So we're going to read what that is all about in our Bible storybook. So before we read it, let's look at the pictures. There's a whole bunch of people here. Let's read what our lesson is about. It's from the book of Acts, chapter 9, verses 26 through 31. Paul arrived in Jerusalem. He tried to join the disciples, Jesus' friends, but they were afraid of him. The disciples did not believe Paul had really become a follower of Jesus. Barnabus knew that Paul loved Jesus, so he brought Paul to the disciples. Barnabus told the believers Paul's story. Barnabas told the believers that Paul could be trusted. After this, Paul was able to work with the disciples to tell others about Jesus. Because Paul, the disciples, and all of the followers of Jesus told everyone about Jesus' life and love, the church grew. Wow, this story is all about some of the earliest believers and followers of Jesus and Jesus' disciples. One of them is called Barnabus, and then one of the followers of Jesus is called Paul. And I don't know that we've talked much about Paul this year. I don't know if you are familiar with who Paul is, but here's a little bit of backstory, real short backstory on Paul. Paul used to be really terrible to Christians. He thought that Jesus was not someone that you should follow, and he, big fancy word, persecuted Christians. It means he was really horrible to them and sometimes killed them even. He was really not nice to Christians at all because he didn't think that people should be Christians and follow Jesus. And then he had an experience on the road to Damascus where God spoke to Paul, and then Paul was blind for a few days. It's a whole thing. You can go read the story in Acts. And then at the end of the 3 days, he meets some more followers of Jesus and believes in Jesus and starts to become one of the most well-known leaders of the early church that we know about even. He was just so well-known, and he wrote a lot of books of the Bible. Paul is a really big figure in our New Testaments. So that sets up our story for today, which is when Paul shows up to start helping the believers and tell other people about Jesus. He tries to join up with the disciples, and everyone's afraid of him because they knew Paul as someone who was really mean, and they didn't know if he was maybe not telling the truth. Maybe he was lying to them and he was going to get them in trouble or try to hurt them. They just didn't know. They didn't believe he was a follower of Jesus. But Barnabas knew that Paul loved Jesus, and Barnabas was able to bring Paul to the disciples and convince them that he had changed. And then Paul was able to do a lot of good work and help the disciples grow the church. So there's a lot to today's Bible story. It makes me think about some times where maybe I had the wrong impression of someone. Have you ever had that happen to you where you think one thing about someone, maybe you think they're mean or they're just really quiet or they're whatever. You have an opinion of them that may not be the most positive opinion. And then over time, maybe someone you know says, no, they're really nice. Or maybe you just get to know them and talk to them more and you realize, oh, they're actually really easy to get along with, or they're really funny, or something surprising that you weren't expecting about that person. That's what this story makes me think of. So it's a good reminder to us as Christians to try to trust other people and give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes. Especially when we don't know them, we've just heard things about them. Sometimes when you just give them a chance to prove themselves. Maybe they'll be a really good friend or an awesome helper or something like Paul was. We can try to see people as God sees people. So everyone is a little bit flawed. Everyone has their own things they're working on and the things they struggle with, and I do, and I'm sure you do. Everybody does. And so we can be like God and give people a lot of grace, especially when we're meeting them for the first time, and just try to get to know them and see them as God sees them. And we don't have to only see the bad things in them or the bad things we may have heard about them. We can try to look for and get to know them and try to look for some of their positive qualities too, because everyone has a lot of good and a lot of good things that they bring to any situation, a lot of things they're good at. And we can figure those things out by getting to know them. This week, we do not have a wonder question again, but we have a little activity in the book, in our Bible story, and I'm just going to let you do it right here. So it says, can you count all the people in the picture? And I'm just going to hold this up, and you can get a second to count all the people in the picture, okay? Count them. How many people did you count? I counted 11. Is that the number you got? Good job. Speaking of seeing people the way that God sees people, we are going to do a craft that is called I See You. And we are going to make some eyeglasses that we can wear and pretend that they are God's lenses that we can see people with and see them the way God sees them. So we have in our activity, our lesson book, some pictures of glasses, and you can pause this and try to copy one of these, pick out your favorite and try to draw one of those glasses, or you can just freehand your own. I'm going to freehand my own, but you will need a piece of paper, preferably construction paper or cardstock, something that's going to be a little thicker than just like printer paper. Something to draw with, a pencil or a marker or something, scissors, some colors, markers or whatever you have that you can color your glasses with when they're all cut out, some tape, and a popsicle stick, and we'll see why the popsicle stick is important in a bit. So let's start off by drawing our glasses. So I'm going to just kind of freehand mine. Again, if you want to look at this picture and maybe pause the video while you try to copy one of these designs, you can do that. Or you can just draw some glasses from whatever image is in your head, and I'm sure that will be wonderful. So I'm going to draw my glasses. You really just need two big eyepieces, lenses, in either a circle or a square or a triangle shape, whatever shape you want. And be sure to put the bridge in between them to go over the nose. And that's really all we need. So let's get to drawing. Okay, I'll show you what mine look like. I just drew two square lenses. They're not perfectly symmetrical, but that's okay. You can see I had to make some adjustments when I was drawing. That's all right too. Sometimes you need to adjust as you go. So the next thing is we're going to cut out our lenses, and be sure that you cut all the way around the bridge. Don't cut off your square or your circle and cut the bridge off, because that's going to be very important in keeping our glasses together. So cut it off in one big piece, including your bridge piece. Go all the way around, and then we can do the next part, okay? All right, I have some pretty funky looking glasses happening. Did you cut yours out? If you haven't, take some time and finish cutting yours out. Be sure to leave the bridge on so you can put it on your face. And then the next part is the most fun part. We get to decorate them. So take your colors, whatever you're going to color with, and decorate your glasses. Remember that you need to leave some part in the middle because that's what, if you were going to wear them, if they were real, you would see through. So decorate just the outside of the frames, okay? Decorate those, and then we'll do the last part of our craft, okay? Okay, I've decorated mine. I just did a yellow frame because I like the color yellow, but you may have done all kinds of different colors or patterns, something really cool. So let's do the next part of our craft. So for this next part, this might get a little tricky. You may need someone to help you with it, but we have our frames established, the shape of them, and we're gonna cut out the centers so we can see through them. So might be kind of tricky, you might need some help, but you can fold your glasses in roughly half, and you don't even have to pinch it to get it closed, and then cut it a little ways in so that when you cut it out, your frame is still really big. You don't want to cut a really, really, really thin, skinny frame and then your glasses fall apart. So cut out your frame out of the inside of your glasses so when you look through them, you can see. And we'll need to do it to both sides. So cut out. I got one eye done. So cut out both of your little frames, and then we're almost done. We have one more part to go, okay? Okay, I went ahead and colored in some more of my frames after they were cut out because I could fill in the gaps better. So now the last part. Take your popsicle stick and put it on the edge of your frame, kind of toward the bottom on one side, like that. Put it on the edge, and you're gonna get some tape and tape it on, and you may have to figure out how to do it, like wrap it around the frame, and your tape's gonna show, but that's okay. It's probably clear tape, right? Wrap it around the frame like that so you can hold it, and then you can just hold your glasses up to your face like that. So I can sort of see through mine. How are yours? Can you see through your glasses? So the rest of today, you can wear your glasses and pretend or practice seeing people the way that God sees people. Isn't that a great idea? And when we get done with today's lesson, you can show your glasses to someone you live with and tell them about our lesson and about Barnabus and Paul and why you're going to be using your glasses today to see people how God sees people. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson with our glasses and our discussion about Paul and Barnabas and how they helped the church grow. Next week, we are, I think, still in the book of Acts, and we are going to be talking about Pentecost. Pentecost is such a great and exciting day in the life of the church that we celebrate every year, and just also it's such a cool Bible story. So I'm excited to share that with y'all next week. Also, announcement, this Thursday at from 5:30 to 6:30 or 7, we're going to have an outdoor trivia night. We had a trivia night last year, a Disney trivia night, and this year we're doing another trivia night, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So you can come outside the DC and bring a picnic blanket and bring like a sack dinner with some sandwiches or something. You can come with your whole family, and we're going to play some trivia. I don't know all the details yet, but I know that me and Miss Lydia will be there, and there may be some extra fun snacks there. So just saying. And it'll just be a lot of fun to get together and hang out outside. Hopefully the weather will be really great and it'll feel good outside, and we'll just get to play some fun trivia. It'll be a great time. So come out for that on Thursday. Well, I think that's all I have for this week. Enjoy seeing people this week with your fancy glasses that we created, and I hope you have a fantastic week, and I look forward to more Sunday school next week talking about Pentecost with you. Okay? I will see you then. Love y'all. Bye.